Cabin 13 Productions.
I feel like every day I'm putting one foot in the grave. Am I autistic?
Maybe jumping a whole creek isn't the best idea if I don't have the right shoes. You know, like you're
Doing the thing where I'm like doing this with the blanket.
you're like feeling yourself, just like, please stop.
I think that's why I might have ADHD, because people came to my house and just did
And they
lab
went,
tests
"You're
on me.
stupid." you're
There's no fixing that.
Such a loser, sweating God, I'm the worst.
Welcome back to the Woodsman Podcast. We're your hosts, Brent Murphy.
And Joey Rucker. What?
Why'd you take so long?
I didn't on my end.
Oh,
There might be some latency, folks.
well then. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Man, it's been a while. December, to be in fact. It's been a trial and error.
It's not 7 months.
It's not 7 months. It's been 1.5, right? 1.5. I'll say it's 1.5. 1 3/4. But we're back, so that's always cool.
Mm-hmm.
We have a new setup, if you guys couldn't realize, with everything.
Super high production. We're killing it out here, folks.
Yeah, we're killing the game. But, yeah, it's been a wild ride. So, I'm not even going to sit here and try and do what we did the last episode and say, oh my God, like, what have we been up to? All you guys have known. It's been a long ride. We're not even going to go into that. So, let's just get into what's been going on about you, bro. What's your housekeeping? What is your housekeeping?
Housekeeping, you say? Funny enough, we don't have much other than like kind of what we've been alluding to in our time away from the cameras and the microphones. But to start off, we are back. We are back, and we are going to get started again on weekly uploads. We hope. I'm not going to make a promise quite yet, but this is going to be kind of the starting test subject for the new format and how we're going to be moving on going forward and doing things from this point on. Which so far it seems pretty good, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, no, I would say this setup is definitely way better than a Zoom setup. 100%.
Yeah.
No, we love so far. I mean, not speak for you. For me, love the new setup. I love the app Riverside so far. The app we're using for everything that's powering us at the moment. I think it's great. I think for the price, you get a lot out of it, especially for stuff like this, for sure. I love it. I love, honestly, just the setup we have in general, being able to do this remotely. I don't know if you could tell, we're not in the same room, so that's that's crazy, but it's just a really good setup, and I think even if we don't stay with this setup forever and we get back in the same studio and we could be together, I mean, I always think that there is a good correlation and a good just an all-around good vibe when we are together in the studio. But for what we're doing right now, I think it's meeting the mark, for sure.
It definitely works for what we need right now. We are not rich boys as much as we tried to kind of fake it till we made it with our last studio.
with
I
these
do,
with this
you know,
quality that we just you know.
that's true. I mean, we've been running a pretty decent quality for people who have like not a huge following. I would
Yeah,
say like we
yeah,
have
for
a
sure.
fairly professional setup, and we have for a while. And for people who have stuck around with the podcast since like the beginning, you've seen the just harsh journey that we've been on
The
going
blood,
like
sweat, and literal
yeah.
tears that has gone into this podcast.
And you know,
Yeah.
funny enough, it kind of started here. Some of our archived episodes that Brent made me get rid of
Yeah, we're never gonna show this.
were us doing Discord type of calls. But Discord, as much as I love the app, not a good podcasting format.
Discord was also not good when you had one person on plug in Apple earbuds.
Yeah, that wasn't great.
Just a
We're-
little bit, just a little. Also running off of Wi-Fi on an iPad that's like 8 years old at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
It's much. We're trying to keep the professional standard that I think we've always considered woodsmen to have. So we're keeping using the Pocket 6Ks that we've been using for a while for our cameras. We're still using our SM7Bs for the microphones. We want to keep everything still a quality formatted show for everyone who has come to love the Woodsman. Because you know, at the end of the day, we really do love you guys, and we have still been somehow rising in numbers even on our long vacation.
Yeah.
I think we're almost
We're
at
almost at
1,000
1,000. Yeah.
downloads.
We're almost at 1,000 downloads on all of our listening platforms. Again, if you guys are really in the podcast and you're really into everything we're talking about, definitely recommend just going on YouTube. Every episode is free. It's not like it's a, paid to watch type of thing. Definitely go on YouTube.
Mhm.
That's where you can actually see what we look like, see what
Yeah.
we're doing, see like all the progress that we're actually, trying to get through, especially during these times where we get one hit after another. We just, have to do everything on the fly. Again, this is one of those episodes. This is the first time we've ever actually gone through here, tried to figure out what's the best thing that we can do for us. But you can always find those things on YouTube. Again,
Yeah.
the Woodsman podcast, not really that hard to find. There's not a lot of people who are going by something like that. So
There is that one guy,
yeah.
man. It's like the
it's
Woodsman podcast.
No, it's the Woodsman perspective.
The Woodsman perspective, dude.
Yeah, you got that guy. Which again, it's not even a podcast. It's just a guy who's living his life out in the woods. I don't know, man, but
Hey, good for him, man.
yeah, that's what we dream of. So, but yeah, you can always find us on there. That's definitely where we always recommend people. But for our listening platforms, we are almost at 1,000 downloads, which is great. It's not as big as some other people, but for us,
No, but it's
it's a
been
great
a freaking
achievement.
journey.
Yeah. So, it's not listens, downloads, I think are always, a great thing, knowing that people care enough to actually download and listen to us, even like offline and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
actually enjoy like what we have to say. So that's a great time. But going from there, we also have Patreon. I know we've been pretty dormant on there as well, but we've been dormant on everything. So as you guys could tell, we're trying to get
Yes.
our shit together. So, but Patreon will be coming back very soon, as well as like just normal weekly episodes that we have lined up. So don't get too, I guess, sad.
You've stuck
that
with
we're
us
not
this
here.
long. You've been
Yeah.
with us throughout our vacation. It's been a very long vacation. We
It's
realize.
very, very
But,
long.
You know, we appreciate every single one of you who kept listening to the episodes and giving us some downloads during our time off and trying to settle all of this craziness. And going forward, this is just the next step in making it better. And we've ran into this kind of issue many times before. We've always had like that one thing where it's like, oh, I guess we have to move location, or oh, I guess we're not using a whole desktop to record the entire thing anymore. Like it's there's always been like little updates and upgrades and steps that we're taking to move this show and our Patreon show forward, and we're very excited to get the ball rolling again.
No, yeah, definitely.
But
And
Woodsman is also not the only project that is going to be starting up soon.
yeah.
You want to give a little shout out to the upcoming fun?
Yeah, so I mean, as you guys have known, like ever since the beginning of everything with Woodsman, we've always had Cabin 13 Productions. That's always been like a big major thing. I mean, especially in just like our intros for the show, our outros for the show, talking about like, hey, if you have any inquiries, everything like that. It's always been Cabin 13. And for people who don't necessarily know like what all that has to do with, Joey and I have always been into media, always been into creation, always been into just finding out an outlet for us to post creative projects like everywhere. And that's what Cabin 13 is. We are pretty much Cabin 13. Surprise. You know, that's just it's us, you know, and all of the equipment that we use, everything having to do with audio, everything having to do with visuals, everything having to do with computers and just sound and everything we own. It's us, you know, like it's everything, you know, we own. And you know, we've been trying to branch out and do more things, and part of that is doing more podcasts or doing, you know, short films, doing anything that really intrigues us. And the new project is another podcast, so you know, it's pretty crazy. For anyone who wasn't watching, you know, you guys can watch the video to see what
You
that
gotta
means.
get more excited, man. You gotta sound more pumped. This is this is gonna be your baby that we're talking about.
I'm excited. I am definitely excited. It's something I've been wanting to do for a while, but we have a new podcast that is coming out. I'm gonna say in March.
We've
March
definitely
has been,
already mentioned the name by accident. On this podcast before.
Yeah, we've definitely talked about it a lot.
But I don't know if are we allowed to say what it's called? I
We have
Instagram now.
Yeah, we have an Instagram now for it. We hopefully I'm gonna be buying the domain in a few days, so then no one can steal it from me. So fuck y'all if you ever you know.
Have we bought a domain?
We haven't. No.
Okay.
We haven't bought a domain for anything, but I'm buying a domain for Liminal Lurkers. That's crazy. Yeah,
Wait,
so
chat, look at this new thing we can do.
Domains are yeah. So yeah, Liminal Lurkers.
Thank you, Riverside.
Yeah, I love you. I love you so much as a platform. No, Liminal Lurkers is gonna be the new podcast under Cabin 13, and I'm super excited. As Joey knows, I've spent so much ungodly amount of time trying to write, and it's been a lot. It's way different running a podcast when it's just you by yourself and you having to write and you having to pretty much do everything that you've been doing with another person, but it's one person. You know, it's a lot to go through, and that's why it's taken so long. But I'm super excited to just kind of get out there, branch out, do something a little different. I know we have our weirdness weeks on the the Woodsman podcast, but think of Weirdness Week times 100, and just diving into crazy stories, crazy um just accounts of weird shit. That's pretty much like all I can really describe it as, but I'm super
If
excited
anyone
to
has been
do
a
it.
fan of Brent's, like I
Tangents.
guess I've been around tangents, but like the interest in the supernatural and spooky and the unexplainable. Is it unexplainable or inexplainable?
I think it's unexplainable. Yeah.
Unexplainable.
Yeah.
If you're a fan of any of that weirdness, then it's going to be a great podcast for you. I think it's going to do well. I think you're going to have fun doing it. It's definitely something to look forward to.
I'm already tired and I haven't recorded a single episode, so you gotta love it. No, but it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be good, new chapter and everything. Especially now that we have a setup that we can just kind of sit down, record, do whatever we need to do. Joey's definitely. We just talked about it right before we started recording. Right now, Joey's gonna be a special guest on, probably more than one episode, and just trying to document people's weird happenings and try and, just figure out the liminal things out there. I don't
Yeah.
really know where to go from there, but yeah, no, it'll be fun. It'll be fun for sure. So. Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the start to our journey, but
no claps. That's crazy. But yeah.
Oh, my bad. I have
to. Yeah. Come on, dude. We got soundboard.
I have no idea, by the way, chat, how that's going to come in. Because so anyone who's curious about how this is going to be working for us, anyone who's curious about using Riverside for themselves, Riverside, you record like a session like we're doing right now, kind of like a Zoom or a Discord call, and then we're able to take the individual camera recordings, like my individual camera recording, Brent's. We can also take our individual voice isolations so that Brent can take it and still edit it. I don't know how that works with sound effects. I don't know how that gets uploaded or downloaded. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
Also, I really gotta
the end product we might just
because I'm bleeding.
Oh,
huh?
What?
My bad.
Do we need to do a cannibalism episode or what? What's going on over there? Nah,
I ripped off that skin tag on a nail and it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It'll be interesting to see. We don't know if it'll be good, if you guys will even hear the soundboard. If not, then you're just gonna have awkward people.
I'll add it.
Come
I'll add
on,
it in
Joey,
post.
just and then dead silence. I don't. I don't know. But no, we're super excited. We're super excited to be back. We're super excited to do more stuff having to do with Cabin 13, and we hope you guys enjoy it. We love you guys. But I will say, if you guys, again, like usual, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, stories, or inquiries on Cabin 13 Productions, you can hit us up at cabin13productions@gmail.com. Not just us, because we got not lazy and we did shit. So that's cool.
Yes, sir. Now you can actually reach us at the brand new Gmail.
Yeah.
And also, as always, keep in touch with us and interact with us on our social medias, Instagram and X. It's at WoodsmanPod. Still posting all the time over there. And at Liminal Lurkers.
Yeah, at Liminal Lurkers, at Liminal Lurkers. It's just that, all one word. And lastly, you can subscribe to our Patreon for our candid, uncensored show, Back to the Cabin, at patreon.com/The Woodsman Podcast. And let's just dive into it. Let's get into a topic because we have one this time. So,
So we're getting pretty old.
yeah,
it's
you're
it's
right.
happening to the best of us, and I feel like every day I'm putting one foot in the grave. And that brings us to our topic today. We're getting older, and
And
we
we're
want to
growing
talk
up.
more about the better days, the growing up part of it, not the fact that we're kind of already here. I don't know about you. I think we kind of are at that stage where it's like, oh, we just are old now. Like it's not a it's
Nah.
not a, oh, you know, when that'll happen to you one day. It's like, no, that shit's happening.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. I don't know about you. I just recently had a birthday, and
Yes.
I'm no longer at my quarter life crisis anymore. I'm just
Yeah.
at my crisis. Like we're not even we're not even saying it's quarter life. We're just going through it, man. We're going through it. You know, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm pretty sure we've said our ages before, right? You know, I don't think
We've
we're
had to.
yeah. I'm currently now, as of February of 2026. Yeah, 2026. Um, I am now 26, so that's a great time. Which is great, and
On my end, I lost him.
it's not fun. Also, Joey,
Good thing
can
it
you hear me?
records natively. We'll be able to see how Brent's reacting live. I wonder if he can see me.
Oh no.
Aha!
Hello.
Are we back?
Hello.
He's not back yet.
I've been talking this whole time.
Oh, I know. I figured.
Oh.
I haven't heard a single thing. The audience did.
Oh, they
Probably.
did.
I think that's how Riverside works. I think everything you said will be there, and I'll just be sitting here like, I wonder where Brent went.
Oh, that's great. That
I'm
is definitely
assuming.
great.
Could you maybe just like give the cliff notes for me?
Again,
You're
I don't even
26.
know.
I'm 25. It's not your
Was
quarter
that
life
it?
crisis anymore. I
Your
didn't hear
screen
much
is
of
like
what you said.
completely paused. You're not even moving on my screen.
You're barely moving on mine.
Oh, you're moving now. That's crazy. Okay.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hey. Okay. So okay. All right.
It's fine. I'll
So
fix it in post.
that's perfect. That's perfect. So, you know, I'm 26, you're 25. I just had a birthday in February of 2026. And it's not fun, dude. It's not fun growing up. You know, for anyone who doesn't know, when you turn 26, you lose your insurance. That's fun.
Fun.
You lose your insurance. You have to worry about a lot more than you had to before, which is a great time, perfectly great time, especially financially. It's a lot to go through. Um, but you hit a certain age and you realize that not to be sad or anything, but death is like everywhere. I don't know if you knew that, but death is everywhere, and it's a little bit scary, guys. It's a little bit scary. Um, you got to go through a lot, and it's just something that every person has to deal with, and it's a little bit too much. I don't know about you, bro. What are you feeling?
Um, I think I'm kind of at a point where I've never really been afraid of death per se. Um I've definitely dreaded it before, but I've never been one to really fear it in my day to day. I think it's more like I think I get too caught up in the day to day personally. I think I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I have this to do today. I have this to do this week. I've got these plans and these things that we have to get done, or things that I'm looking forward to. It could be a positive thing sometimes where I'm like, oh, we have like a D&D thing, coming up, and I'm like, "Oh, I got to focus all my attention on that and make sure that I'm putting every ounce of effort." And I think part of it can sometimes be like a distracting mechanism, like something to kind of take my mind off the impending doom of it all, but um you're also right, there is a lot of scary parts coming up. I'm not looking forward to the insurance stuff that I'm going to be having to deal with in the next year because I'm only a year below you. For anyone who doesn't know, I'm 25 compared to Brent. So I'm coming up on it. I'm up next, and so I'm dreading that kind of stuff too. Trying to figure out you know the future of myself. Hopefully, one day I can get out on my own, get the hell out of this house, and make my own, like pave my own life. That's something I think I'm sometimes worried that that won't work out, but I'm trying my best to make sure I think of everything I need to make sure it can. And even though I am doing that, I think I still worry that somehow something's going to fuck up, something's going to go wrong. Um I mean, hell, prices these days are one of the craziest things. Like if you like living in an apartment on your own, mm-mm. that's
Yeah,
that's a, that's a no.
yeah,
That's a no. That doesn't happen. I mean, it's a goal, but it's just crazy these days, So I get the dread. I get the dread. I don't think I dread the end of it maybe the same way you do. But I think I dread more the present and upcoming rather than the end of what comes after that. If that makes sense.
yeah, yeah. No, I get that. What's what do you think is one of your best memories that you've had growing up that you
Ooh.
I wouldn't say always look to, but maybe a memory that you always have in mind uh at growing up, and you
Mm.
just kind of, if anyone talks about growing up or talks about childhood, that's the one memory you just keep in your mind that kind of keeps you going.
That is such a good question. Um, Trying to think. Honestly, I do genuinely go back a lot to our what's it called? Elementary days. I think when I think of growing up, I attribute a lot of my character, my personality, my interests to our elementary school that we attended together and our principal at the time. Um and I think we learned a lot of lessons at that school that were just so creative and innovative. I think I feel like a lot of schools missed out. Like schools had field trips, but we had like such such learning. Um, I can't think of the term I'm looking for, but we had such great learning opportunities. That's a term. Learning opportunities with some of the trips that we took, going to Hearst Castle, Calico Ghost Town, Disneyland. Even like even when it went to Disneyland, like we weren't actually going to Disneyland to spend a day at Disneyland. We would be going on tours and learning about the history of the park itself and how it came to be and all that stuff. We read the Diary of Anne Frank. I thought that was super interesting. Well, maybe not at the time. I think when I was a kid, I definitely was like, this is the most boring shit I've ever had to be part of. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
you asked about like, what do you think about when you look back and you think about when someone asks you about growing up, what do you think about? I always go back to that school and some of the things we learned and did together as a group and as a class and as friends. And it was such like a like growing moment for me as a young boy. You know, I think I learned a lot about who I was going to be as my own character and human being there. What about you?
Well, I mean, yeah, I definitely think elementary and middle school had a profound amount of
I guess it was
influence in my
middle school,
life
wasn't
for
it?
sure. Yeah. Well, Ian, it was elementary and middle school for sure. Uh, I think the field trips and everything, as far as going to places like Manzanar, going to places like the Holocaust Museum and uh, places like that. I mean, they really do hold a weight like in your life. Sometimes you don't really necessarily think about it until you hit like the age you are now, and then you realize like, oh man, like this was this is a profound moment for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I also think about like out like at my house we have the two trees in my front yard, and I just recently uh I stood in between those two trees and I put my hands on them and I looked up, and I remember when I was young I used to sit there and I put my back to one tree and I put my feet on on the other tree, and I try and like shimmy my way up like the trees and
Mm-hmm.
everything to try and get to the top branch. And uh, I just recently looked up there. Uh, it was actually, I think it might have been on my birthday as well, which makes it, I guess, a little bit more like quote unquote profound. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I remember uh, being up there and just looking up and realizing like, wow, this used to be a a feat that you can never achieve. And I'm sitting there in between the trees with my hands on both sides of the tree, and I just realized like, wow, I wouldn't even be able to put both hands on these trees at all. Like, like as a kid, I never would have been able to do that. And I had to like pretty much extend my entire body out to like be in between these two trees. And I'm sitting here now at, 25, 26 years old, and I'm doing it with ease, and
Mm-hmm.
you look up and you realize like, wow, like that top branch wasn't that far. you know and
Yeah.
it might sound odd, but you kind of sit there, you look at it, and if you're anybody who's like us, because I know we both kind of go through it, um seeing the little things in life like that, and realizing that wow, like there's so much more to life than that, you know? And you look at it now after your experience, you look at it after your trials and your tribulations or whatever you're going through. And then you look back at something so trivial and you're like, oh my God, like that's so menial compared to everything else that's going on within your life, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I just think that's such a crazy realization to go through when you're young, and realizing there's so much more to life than just I don't know, climbing a tree. You know, like it's just such a profound experience to have when you're older, and then realizing that you know, it's an achievable dream. And I think that's what makes it so insane, you know, to me.
Yeah, when we took those days for granted, you know, like those you were talking about your tree, and that totally just like reminded me of like the tree out front in my yard, and how like when I was a kid, I would have to like, in order, it didn't have any branches. I think it's actually a very similar tree to yours out front in your house. Might be a
Yeah, I
little
think
different,
so.
maybe not the exact kind of same tree, but there weren't like a lot of branches that were low hanging that you could like climb and pull yourself up. So you kind of had to like make your way up the tree to get to the climbable parts. And I remember I would always have to run and like literally kind of wall climb, like wall run up the tree as fast as I could and hope that I was able to grab a branch um before I fell back down on my back.
Yeah.
um
Yeah. Many of those
Man,
times.
it also reminds me of like my bush out front when I was young. I haven't thought about this in years, but when we were super young, there's a bush outside my front yard. It's the bigger one, for since you know the my property. It's the big one out front right next to that tree.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
that one in particular, me and Becca, my sister, I've talked about her on the pod before. We used to as kids, there was like a little opening in the leaves, and we would kind of crawl into this bush, and we realized inside was a completely hollow space that we could just spend our days in, and like just go in there and enjoy like hanging out or playing games, or you know, making up shit in our imagination. And yeah, we don't. Now I'm sitting here at the ripe old age of 25, and I'm like, dude, there's probably like spiders in there, and and bugs. And what if they bite me, dude? Like,
Yeah. What if I just die from a from a spider bite just going inside my bush in the front of my house, you know, like no, it's
I
I
miss
mean, yeah.
I miss that feeling of being able to. That's not how I want to word it. I miss the imagination my childhood mind could have. I don't know if you
Yeah.
kind of fuck with that idea too.
No, no, 100%. 100%. I think um you know, us growing up in religious like households and stuff like that, you're always kind of told from a young age, you know, that uh childlike minds always kind of um not make it in life, but they see more, or they're pure, you know, like they're pure
Mm-hmm.
minds. You're not really doing anything to really impress anyone else. You're not really doing things to benefit yourself, but you're just kind of there, you know, and you're living your own life, and um you're doing your own thing, you know. And
Yeah.
I think that when you get older, especially now, and we're not even our parents' age. We're not anything like that. It's not like we're like, you know, in our 50s and
Yeah, we
60s and
act like
having
old
like a
men, but we
full
still
life
have some
crisis.
time to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, we got time. We got time. But I mean, even at the age we are now, I think, and I'm not gonna speak for you, but I know for me, um, you kind of get to a point where you get a little afraid. You know, um, you're a little bit more afraid of things you weren't afraid of before. Like you said, you're not really afraid of things that could, um, bite you and then kill you.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're not
yeah.
you're not worried that much about spiders. You're not worried about like, oh, if I go on this hike and I jump from this rock to another, I could, break my leg and be kind of stuck wherever I'm at. Like you're not really thinking about any of that. And even from
Yeah.
just, I mean, you got your license at 16, right? It was 16. You got your license,
I
right?
think
Around then.
so, if I remember correctly. Yeah.
Like even when you're 16, you're not really necessarily thinking about like, oh, like if I go around this turn, what if someone hits me, and then what if
Hmm.
this like ruins my life, or like you're not thinking about any of that stuff. But you hit a certain age and then you're like, oh, these are real fears. Like I actually have to worry about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it's crazy like what time does to you like in your brain. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but it's it's something that kind of leaves you a little bit more worrisome. You kind of, think
Hmm.
maybe I need to take it easy, or I need to not do this or that. Even just stuff we've done in like the past couple years, especially like going on hikes and stuff like that. Like you kind of think, maybe jumping a whole creek isn't the best idea if I don't have the right shoes. Like you think about things a lot differently when
Yeah.
you're a little bit older, and it's kind of sad. I don't know if you feel the same way. Um, it's kind of sad to think that we've kind of given up on certain dreams, and we've given up on certain things that we really liked, we really appreciated about the whimsy that came into life. But um you also got to play it smart a little bit. So it just
Hmm.
it's weird. It's weird, to be honest, man.
Do speaking of like all this, like, oh shit, did I lose him? Folks, I think I lost him. This is definitely going to troubleshoot our issues. Because I don't see Brent in the call anymore. And I don't know what that means or how that'll work. But hi, everyone. Welcome. Um, so growing up is hard. um, I don't know where my host went. I'm assuming this is a problem with internet issues. Something we are going to work on fixing in the future. But with that said, maybe it's an okay time to cut to commercial or cut to a clink. A clink would be really handy right now. Can somebody give me a clink? A clink. Anybody? A clink. I need a clink. So now that we're back, I had a question for you. Um,
Shoot, shoot, baby.
Regarding growing up and getting older and stuff like that. Growing up, I don't know about you, but I kind of consider different parts of my life different like stages or like eras.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I think
yeah, yeah,
of,
yeah, for sure.
and there are different ages that I often reflect on where every year I for sure thought I knew everything. And I know that's like obviously
Yeah.
how everybody thinks that. But I'm not feeling that way anymore, but I also don't feel like did you go through like you're 20 and you think, I mean, I've been over 18 for a while now. I'm an adult. I know how to drive. I know the system. I can be my own man. And then like 21 hits and it's like, you know, uh drinking and stuff, you know, you go out with people and there's more responsibilities that you didn't realize you were going to have until you turned 21, or like same with 22 or 23. We're 25 now and I feel like I'm only just now starting to get to a point in my life where every time I get older, I it's not that I'm not surprised, things do surprise me anymore, but I don't go at those surprises with the mentality of like, well, I already am the center of attention. I already know what's going on. So I'm more mad at everybody else trying to like explain this to me. I'm more going to it like, honestly, bro, I don't, maybe I don't know because, because this is, life is hard and there's a lot of learning. And especially, and this will be the end of my statement, but especially because I look back at those years and realize at 25 how blind I was at 22 or 23 or 19. I look back and realize how blind I was when I thought I could see everything. And with that mentality now, I think it's more like I don't want to say I know everything. I just don't expect to anymore. What are your thoughts?
No, I definitely agree with you on the first part with like you hit like 19, 20, 21, even 22 and you kind of just like expect to just know everything for sure. I think it's a little bit different for me versus you because you had from 18 to like 22, right? Like 18 to 21, 22, you were away from home. Like you
This is
cuz
true.
you were at
Yeah.
college, you know. And I think having a time period to be away from home, to be away from essentially like, and correct me if I'm wrong, essentially being away from everything that you ever grew up with and have known, things that you were told maybe to believe in, things that you were told that like this is truth and this is the only truth you got, um, type of thing, to then going through 4 to 5 years of your life where you're like, oh, there there's a lot more going on in life than like
Yeah.
that. You know, there's a lot more going on that I didn't really necessarily know. I mean, you could have known, but you're not really too sure because you know, your life was never in a way where that was it, you know? And you get a few years to several years of your life where you kind of have to make decisions about life that you never really would have thought of when you're elementary school to middle school to high school.
Hmm.
You know, if you have really involved parents, I mean, just in general, if you have really involved parents, a lot of your life is going to dictate their beliefs or like how they live or how they've kind of taught you to live and stuff like that. And it's not really until you're out of it that you really realize that there's a little bit more to life than like what there was before. Um,
Hmm.
and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because again, I'm not trying to speak for you in general, but I just think like in general, when you grow up, there's a little bit of that going on.
Oh yeah.
Um, you know, for me, I never went away to college. I didn't have that full experience,
Hmm.
but you know, I had times in my life where things happen that dictate essentially and almost kind of somewhat unfortunately the rest of your life, through
Hmm.
actions and through things that happen to you and not things you necessarily want to happen to you, but like things that just happen and then that forces you to grow or that forces you to grow up or that forces you to take a different mindset. Uh, I'm sorry. It forces you to take a different mindset on certain things and um you kind of grow up that way. There's so many different ways of growing up in different forms where people don't have to go through the same thing to, be around the same age and kind of come to the same conclusion. Um, you didn't grow up the same way I did. I
Yeah.
didn't grow up the same way you did. Yet I think we're pretty kind of in the ballpark with beliefs and how we feel about people and how we have a need to love and care for people around us no matter what is going on. It doesn't have to do with really upbringing. It just has to do with who we are as people and who we've grown up to be. Um, it might not look the same in how we got there, but it still is, there.
Do you
Uh,
still find yourself like looking back and kind of laughing almost at how intelligent you thought you were at particular ages,
oh,
like in your own journey?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think there are some parts of my life where, because I would say, I mean, at least in comparison to me and you, um, I think I kind of went through maybe like the older kid phase way prematurely before you did. You
Yeah.
still went through it. You still went through it, but I think
No,
like I
you
went
you
through it
went through
like
it first.
way
You
sooner,
definitely
you know.
went through it first.
I think we went through it way sooner. Just with the lifestyle. You have a different lifestyle. You go through certain things at a different pace from
Yeah.
other people. I think I went through mine like very young. I think I went through mine around like 13 or 14, where I was hanging out with
Mm.
way older kids than I was at the time. I think I learned about certain things that I really didn't necessarily have to go through until I was way older, you know?
Yeah.
Not to say I went through anything crazy, but I mean, just in general, I think I kind of stepped out and did a lot more things and experienced more things with different people with different ages and different age groups and stuff that kind of dictated like where my life at that time was going to go. And I think you had that a lot more at an appropriate age where it's like, okay, you go off to college and then you learn for yourself, like, I mean, just
Yeah.
with parties and stuff like that. I mean, I was going to parties when I was like 13 or 14 and I was like a freshman,
Yeah, what was
but
I?
like,
I was
but
like
like you
at
were
home
going to,
watching like 10.
yeah, like you were going to parties and stuff. I think your first party, if I'm not mistaken, you went to your first party at like 18 or 19, you know,
Yeah, yeah, it was in freshman
like
year of
college party.
college.
Yeah, like college party. So I
Yeah.
mean, we went through different things. I mean, we've gotten to the same place at I mean, it's not the finish line or else we'd be dead. But like we've hit the finish line on a certain part of our
Yeah.
lives where we're
Yeah.
still there. Like we're at the
Mhm.
same pace. But I think we both experienced it at a different level, at a different time, at a different place that have changed the way we see certain aspects of our lives and things of that nature. What do you think? Where do you think you're at currently?
Oh, that's a great question. I think I'm definitely hopefully not the finish line. I think there's still more.
Well,
to
I
be
would hope
done.
so. I would hope so. You're
But
only 25, my man.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I've often viewed my current lifestyle and where I've gotten to as kind of a like a safety net of sorts. Like I'm in a spot that feels balanced. It's something I can handle, nothing that's going to completely ruin me. I can finally just wake up, have a goal in mind, and get it done. And a lot of times that goal is just work. But
Yeah.
it's stable, it feels safe, and I think that's something that my brain as an introvert, that was another thing that was different about us growing up, in our different lifestyles and way we were raised and stuff. I somehow, and my parents, I wouldn't say my parents are very introverted. I wouldn't say they are. Maybe my dad a little bit, but my dad will fake it. My dad will easily
Oh,
fake
your dad
introvertness.
your dad could definitely fake it to break it because when we're all alone, my man is
Oh, he
such a
lets loose.
character. My man is such a character. I
Yeah.
love your dad.
But
But
somehow
yeah.
I got cursed with the introvert gene, and I don't exactly know what triggered it. But
Life breaking me down.
life breaking me down, I guess. Yeah. And I got to a point where I was so tired of drama and people and all the hardships that come with life that I think I was just like, when I found the stage that I'm in now with my workplace and the lifestyle and the pattern. I think I'm a very big pattern guy. Whenever I go
Yeah.
to a restaurant, whenever I buy clothes, whenever I buy shoes, if I know that something works, then like my brain kind of just automatically tells me that that is the only way to do it.
Yeah.
Which I know there are other people that have similar kind of ways. Maybe I just have like ADHD or something like that. But we've talked about that. I think
No, I
didn't we
mean,
talk about how we both probably have ADHD? But
yo, we probably definitely have ADHD, but we have like different forms of it.
oh,
Because
absolutely.
because the way you're talking right now, especially with like clothes and like patterns and stuff like that, I'm the exact opposite.
Hmm.
Like I'm a constant like if I'm shopping for clothes, I'm like, what's gonna stand out that's gonna make people probably a little bit uncomfortable, but I'm gonna do it because I like it. It's like
Yeah.
it's a different form, like it's there. It's that same it's not ADHD, I don't think, but I think it's
No.
like a same like comfortableness, where you feel comfortable with certain things, so you do it. And I
Hmm.
think you have that. And I think mine is more like like if I'm feeling comfortable with this, then I definitely need to like branch out and do this instead.
Yeah.
So I think there is like a probably an ADHD pattern or something,
There's got to be something. There's got to be
with it.
some kind
you
of
know.
neurological problem with me because
No,
I'm like,
no, no,
like
no.
I'm like it is kind of like what you said though. It sometimes can take a lot to get me to try something new
No,
or
yeah.
get
Yeah,
get
yeah.
out of like test the waters, try something different.
But
But
you're
the
comfortable with
thing
certain
is,
things. You're
once I
comfortable.
do it, then I could do it 1,000 times. That's the
Yeah.
thing that's so
Yeah,
weird
yeah.
about, you know, what I've become.
But I feel like would you think that that's partially with the way you're raised or how you've been raised, where do you find more of a comfortability with certain things that it kind of
Mm.
just makes it easier for you to stay in a certain bubble per se
I
with certain
definitely
things,
think
or
that
what do you think?
there's definitely certain aspects of how I was raised because I was also raised very, very sheltered. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah.
especially compared to even my siblings, because I can tell a personality and mental difference in my siblings than myself because of when they were raised and the lifestyles that my parents, and I can get into that in a second, but like as for me, I was raised very sheltered. There were a lot of, we mentioned that I was raised in a religious household, so like there were a lot of like shows or songs that I wasn't allowed to watch. I couldn't have certain technologies at certain times. I'm sure that there are aspects to all of that that kind of like sort of implanted themselves into me and my lifestyle now, where I'm like, oh well, that's different, or that's new, or that's something weird that I don't understand, so I can't touch it until I have touched it, and then I'm okay. It's a
Yeah. Yeah.
strange thing. um and but again, with my siblings, I've noticed that there's differences with them because of when they were raised. Becca was the second sibling. She came out and she's more social. No, she's more extroverted than I am.
Well, she's more
um
academic as well.
Very academic.
She very much loves school. She loves that.
Mhm.
I mean,
John
and
is probably the biggest
correct me if
example
I'm
though.
wrong. She seems very structured. She likes the structure that comes with
Yeah, I would say there's a lot
certain
of
things like
structure in
that.
her.
Like
Oh, I wonder if I have a
your
CD.
brother's a wild card. I mean, your brother
He's a
is
complete wild card, and that's the thing though. When he was raised, and I've made fun of my parents for this, but honestly, there's no hate really. It's just more like love hate. But
yeah.
they totally raised him exhaustedly. They were tired. They had multiple children at
They're
this
like,
point,
dang, bro,
and they
just
were
let
like,
him do
"We just
whatever.
do what you want. If you want to watch shows with wizards in it, or magic, or things that we used to say was like dark powers that we were like bad influences, go for it." He wouldn't get spanked nearly as much as we were, and I don't
Oh, I
even
know.
I'm yeah, we all know. It's so there's got to be something to that. But
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other aspects that I don't know, things that have happened just throughout my life that have gotten me to be more like happy with quiet, happy with
Yeah.
peace
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
changing. I think change is a big weird like
It's a
neuron
hard
in my
thing.
head.
Yeah. It's a hard thing
Yeah.
to go through. Now, I would say, uh, pivoting from you and your siblings, do you think, like you said, with your parents kind of getting more relaxed with John being your youngest sibling,
Mhm.
do you think it was necessarily them changing their opinions, or do you think it was more of them kind of getting just more lax and like, oh, well, we can't really do anything about it?
That's
Like
that's a
what
good
do you
question.
think personally that they kind of went through to have that revelation on how they
No,
were changing their parenting styles and stuff like that?
I think that's a great question, and I don't think I think about it enough, but I do think that there's a mix of both. I think there's clearly a sign of like, my parents were what, in their early 30s when they had me, right? Yeah, early
Well,
30s ish. And
yeah, I was gonna say your parents are pretty young
my
compared to
dad,
my mom. My mom's in her 60s,
yeah, my
so
my
that's
my
it's a
parents are
little
still in
bit
their
different.
50s.
Yeah.
And so
So
you put that
that's a
perspective into
decade gap for
when they
sure.
had me, then when they had Becca, which was 3 years later, and then when they had John, which is when I was 11. Um, so like, you're 11 years into parenting and now you're going to start a whole nother trek. I mean, I was thinking about this the
Yeah.
other day.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
John is going to graduate college if he goes and does that whole journey when I'm in my 30s. Do you know how crazy that
Yo,
is?
that's crazy.
I'm going
That's
to be in
so
my
crazy.
30s when my little brother graduates college, and that's so gross to think about.
You're gonna have such a
Anyways,
full beard by then, dude. You're already almost in your 30s.
I
Did you
know.
realize
God.
that?
Same to you, brother.
Cause this year you turned 26. I'm already 26. So I got 4
You're
years.
already closer to 30 than you
I
are
know.
20.
Yeah, you know how scary that is? You know how scary that is? The most scary thing to me, I mean, pivoting off of your fucking family struggles. Like
Sure, yeah.
my the scariest thing to me was going on a hike today and looking up at the sky and having a realization, oh, I need to look at the ground because what if I break my
What if you
ankle
trip? What
and
if
I
you
don't have
snap
any
or
fuck,
something?
I have no insurance to get me out of here. Like I'm gonna have to hobble home. I'm gonna have to hobble home and I'm gonna have to wrap that bitch myself. Like I don't know what I'm
Oh
supposed to
my
do,
god.
but like
Yeah.
yeah, that's the stuff I think about. Like that's legitimately the stuff I think about right now. Um,
And it's
as
so
a
funny because I'm the exact
almost
opposite,
30-year-old.
but in a different way. Like my family, since I still am on the insurance, they've been trying hard to get me to be like, "Will you just effing go and get like a checkup just because you're about to run out,
Yeah,
you're about
because
to not
once
have
you
it
run out of it,
anymore."
you don't have anything. Yeah.
But for whatever reason, I'm just like, I would rather die. I
Yeah. I would rather, that's exactly me.
I would rather
I
die than go learn that there's something like lethal happening
Yeah, what
inside
if
me.
they're like, you have brain cancer? And I'm like, I could have went the rest of my
Exactly.
life without knowing that. Like I could have went the rest of my life without
For
knowing that.
real.
I could
I
have
can
died
go the
and
rest of my
thought I
life.
just thought I just was going through it. Like I don't why
And
do I
I'm
need to
sure this
know?
is not a healthy way to handle it. I
No.
should go get a checkup.
Not at all.
I
Not at
realized
all.
recently, you know the Halloween party we went to recently?
Yeah, yeah.
I realized there that was the first time in years that I realized I needed glasses. And I was
What do you mean you needed glasses?
like okay, so we
What?
at that party, um the somebody's glasses were being swapped around. Like, you know how everybody does that thing where they're like, "Oh, I want to see how bad your vision is."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That
Yeah.
kind of thing was happening. For the first time in my life, I put someone's glasses on. It wasn't blurry, and I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Maybe we just have like similar whatever you call it prescriptions." But then when I was taking them off, I was looking at a TV that was maybe like 8 8 or 9 feet away. And as I was taking the glasses off, when they
And it was
came
a big
off,
TV. It was a
it
big
was a big
TV.
TV. All of the words on the TV were blurry, dog. And I, I was like, oh, hell no. And I put the glasses back on and I could read it clearly. And I was like, oh no. Oh, one of those first realizations that I am getting older, that I can't fake it till I make it for too much longer, dude. Because
Oh my god.
I'm
That's
probably gonna have
crazy.
to be a glasses wearer. Would you? Are you don't wear glasses prescription, do you?
I mean, I have a prescription.
You just don't wear.
I don't even know where the glasses are, Joey. Joey, I got the glasses in I got the glasses in ninth grade. No idea where they went.
That's how I was because I used to
They're
have
just gone.
glasses,
They're just
and I
gone.
was just
I
like,
don't.
no, I'll just heal.
Yeah, exactly,
I'll
dude.
just I'll just
Exactly. I
choose to
mean,
be better.
yeah, yeah. Do better, dude. Do better. Tell your
That's how I
eyes
handled my
to take
asthma
a
too.
fucking hike, dude, and just
When I was a kid, my asthma was so bad, and it always flared up at around October. And I
yeah.
was like, what if I just stopped doing that? You know?
What if I just stopped allergene? Like, what if I just stopped? You know? No,
Yeah.
I definitely I felt that. I felt
What
that.
are some physical things happening to you that are like reminding you that we're getting older
My
or
fucking
that you're growing up?
panic and anxiety attacks.
Panic,
Easy.
anxiety.
It's
Fair.
easy because I didn't have any of those, and then I hit what 23, and they just hit like a fucking brick, and it was
Mhm.
like, yo, what is this? Like, why do I feel like I'm dying? And then the doctor telling me like, no, I'm surprised they haven't happened sooner. And I'm like, well, why didn't the fuck you why didn't you say that before? Like I don't like why are you telling me that now? Like out of all the times you could have told me that, why is it now you're telling me that? Um yeah, probably that. I think the asthma's chill. It's not that bad.
Asthma's chilled down. Yeah.
Asthma hits me when I'm having like the panic or anxiety attacks, but it doesn't hit me
Oh,
like
really?
how it used to, where it would just like out of nowhere, just, like
Is
I
it?
would have
Did
to
you?
take it.
Was it
But
annually for you? Did you like have like flare ups with your asthma like at a
yeah,
particular point in
yeah.
the year?
Well, because I had allergy
Th-
induced asthma.
Oh.
So when I would hit like certain points in the year where my allergies would flare up, that's when the asthma would flare up. So
Mm.
I would hit stuff and it would hit my nose. But then when it hit my nose, it would also hit me, I guess in the fucking throat, like wherever, um, wherever the asthma hits you, the lungs.
Yeah.
But yeah, then I would have it like then, but I would just take an allergy pill. I would take my inhaler and then I would
Mm.
knock out for like several hours and I wake up and I'd be fine. But,
Yeah, that's interesting because I
um,
didn't.
yeah.
I had it always during the fall. It was always around the fall when mine would flare up, but I don't know.
No, the
I don't know
fall's
if it
one of
was
the
an
worst for
allergy
me.
thing. Maybe it was an allergy thing for me
Yours
too.
might be
Maybe.
an allergy thing because I mean, you got the pollen and stuff that gets, because it's always the wind for us
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah.
we have the
Yeah.
California, we got those winds, that come through the Santa Ana winds. So we always have those, and then they come up, pollen hits. It's hard to breathe through the nose, and then if you get an allergy or asthma attack, then obviously you're kind of fucked. So I don't really know, but yeah, so I would have those, but definitely I would say the panic attacks and anxiety attacks
Mm.
definitely happen
I
way
to this
more
day
now that I'm
think I've
older.
only had one panic, like real genuine panic attack.
Well,
I
good
think I've
for
only had.
fucking you.
Sorry.
Good for you. Have
It
that
was.
shit like
I.
every 2 days. So
I'm so sorry. Yeah, I've
yeah,
only had like one real one, and it was so weird because like something did kind of cause it to spike, but in hindsight, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was weird. It just something about my brain or the chemistry in me, something kind of just snapped backwards, and I wasn't ready. And I immediately like I got home.
you feel
I
like you're
I
dying.
couldn't
You feel like you're
I thought I
dying.
was
Yeah,
dying. I couldn't
yeah,
breathe.
yeah,
I felt like my heartbeat was not beating at all, yet beating like 1,000 beats per
yeah.
second.
And then you're
I
trying to
couldn't.
sit there like, oh, like, am I breathing? But I know I'm
Am I?
breathing because
Yeah.
I'm
Am
still
I
alive.
breathing? Is
Like,
such a
yeah,
great way to put it, dude.
yeah. No, it's hard, dude. I
I can't
mean,
imagine having that often.
dude, I have that shit at work. I had that shit at work on
Ugh.
Wednesday last week, dude. While we were at work, like, and
No.
I wasn't even saying anything. I was like, well, I guess I'm just having this shit, and I feel like I'm dying, so I'm just gonna keep walking around this room and acting like everything's fine,
So terrible, dude.
and I couldn't breathe. Like, because that's the thing. I don't know if you know the difference between panic attacks and anxiety attacks, but anxiety attacks are induced from like, say, like if you're thinking about a certain thing, like a
Mhm.
lot and a lot and a lot, and then it kind of builds up for you. Panic attacks just hit you like a brick out of nowhere, and you're just
What
like,
so what
oh
would you
shit.
define mine as? Because what happened was we're over at the local Stater Brothers,
Okay.
and I'm the one driving. My mom is inside shopping. I'm drive my sister and my brother are in the back. John is still in a car seat at this point. Um, I'm driving and I'm just circling the lot until my mom's done shopping.
Yeah.
And then there was this one turn where, I see that my mom is now out of the grocery store, so I'm ready to go over and pick her up. And I'm making a turn. And as I'm making the turn, Becca notices on the passenger side door out the window that I am clearly, and before I can even tell, going to run over this like curb thing. And it's gonna hit the back tire, it's gonna go up, and the way she reacted, sorry, I don't know why I have tweezers, don't ask. Um
Okay. Didn't even notice till you said that, but that's crazy. Okay. For sure.
Anyway,
You
I
pop
make the
off, King.
turn.
You pop off, King.
I make the turn. The tire goes up, but right before the tire goes up, Becca loses her shit, dude. She
Okay.
screams bloody
Okay.
murder. She's like, Joey, watch out. And I freaked out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
hit the curb. We go over. John's now screaming because he's young. He doesn't understand what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, now I'm pissed. I'm like, shut the hell up. Let me just handle this. And I go over to my mom. I pick her up. Now I'm in a bad mood, but something has been planted that I didn't know
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
And I get home. We get home because, it's not far. I walk into my bedroom and I lay down on the bed right here. And all of a sudden, just something, my hands started to shake. I didn't know what was
Okay.
going on with me because I wasn't
Yeah.
afraid, but I was mad and I was confused and I was scared. I don't know what the hell happened to my biology, but immediately that heartbeat thing where I'm like, I can't breathe. I don't know
Yeah.
why I can't
Yeah.
breathe. What's going on with me? I'm just I'm doing the thing where I'm like doing this with the blanket.
You're like feeling yourself, just like, please,
I'm like-
please stop. Like, please stop.
And
Like,
it
yeah.
took so
Yeah.
long for it to go
Yeah.
away, and I just had to sit there and take it, and I didn't realize what it was till later. So is that, in your opinion, panic or anxiety induced?
I would say like probably anxiety because it was caused by something happening.
Mm,
Cause panic, it just comes out of nowhere. Like
I see.
I can just drive to work and pull up in our building, and while I'm talking to a group of people, my heart starts just like going crazy. And then
Really?
I get clammy hands and I get lightheaded and then I have
You
to
lose
sit
all the
down
color
and
in your face?
I don't know what it is, but it's just there.
That's interesting.
So it sucks because I'm just like, oh, like I've never had that before. But you have one bad experience happen and then it's almost like, let's be honest. It's almost like breaking the seal when you're drunk. We've all been there. We've all been there. Um, if you're
Okay.
listening to this podcast, you've definitely been there at least once. It's one of those like you're drinking, you're having a good time, you're great, right? You're great. You're shooting pool with some homies, and then you're like, "Hey, yo, I have to go to the bathroom." And then people tell you like, "Hey, yo, don't break the seal." They kind of like make fun of you. You're like, yo, don't be a little baby back bitch. Don't break the seal. But then you're like, I really got to go pee. So then you go pee. But then the rest of the night, because you broke the seal, you go pee like every 10 minutes. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's what a panic attack is. You
Mm.
have one. You have
Once it
one, and
starts.
then it fucks you up forever. You have no
Mm.
control over it. You're like, well, I guess it's just my life now, and then you just go through it. So I don't know. That's the only way I know how to describe it, but that's just my life. So do that.
Do
Do with
they
that information what you will. I don't know.
Never mind. I was about to ask a dumb question.
No. Say it. I need to
I
know
was
now.
gonna say, can't you just go get a prescription? And then I was like, wait a
I
minute.
think you can get a prescription for panic attacks, my man. I think the
gonna say,
only
'cause
thing you can get
you-
is like Xanax, but that's for anxiety. So I don't know if you can get one
not
for
the
panic attacks.
induced
Yeah,
ones.
I don't think you can get that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert, and like you just brought up, can I go and get a prescription? No, I can't because I can't even get fucking medical assistance if I was dying. So
Yeah. So there's that.
well, thanks for showing up to the podcast.
Did
Yeah.
you growing up, did you have like I don't think we were ever diagnosed, but did you have any undiagnosed learning disorders or problems or struggles? Like for me,
I mean, I
focusing in general was
definitely
tough.
think I had like ADHD to a certain point. I feel like I had to have had one only because, like, I mean, like, I would get in trouble for talking and shit, but I still could do my work, you know? Like, it wasn't like one of those actively avoiding things. I just could not focus
Maybe
without
you have
having,
some kind of like
I don't know.
autism. I don't know.
Shit, I mean,
Maybe
maybe,
there's
I
like
don't,
some kind of because
but
don't
I've even
no, but that's
noticed,
more
like,
hyper focus,
now.
isn't it?
Shit, you're asking the wrong guy, dude. I don't know. I don't have
I'm
any
not an expert
medical.
for
Yeah, I don't
anyone who
know.
watches this and like is like Joey's so inconsiderate. I'm just guessing, and I'm
Yeah,
apologizing right away if I get it wrong.
because I know it's probably wrong. Like, no,
Yeah.
I mean, the only reason why I say there's got to be something with sound related things is because even to this day, I cannot go to bed without sound. Period.
Mm.
I will not sleep if I don't have sound. Like
I mean, I do the same
I
thing.
don't even need TV. I don't need light, even though I'm low key afraid of the dark, which that's also another thing that probably needs to be addressed at some point in my life, but it can't be addressed now. Um, but like I cannot have a silent room in
Mm.
general at all. Like at all. I will sit there
Mm.
and stare at the ceiling for literal hours unless I have sound. Like I just cannot do it. So I don't know. I don't know if that has something to do with it. And I'm only going off of like when I was young, always having to talk, always having to have some sort of sound, the pencil tapping, the
Mm.
like just anything that was like stimulating my brain in silence I had to have. So I don't know if that has anything to do with autism. I don't know if that has anything to do with ADHD. I have no idea. Like,
You don't know how I know
yeah.
for a fact I have something is and I think I've definitely told you this story before. But maybe I don't know if I've told chat. When
Weren't
I
you
was a kid,
tested?
kinda.
Weren't you tested and your parents
I
went,
had a
nah, fuck
thing
that.
where
And you
well,
just,
base kind of. There was a teacher in the 2nd grade, dog,
okay.
who
Yeah. Yeah.
who yeah, was like he's struggling to focus, he doesn't, like, listen, he's too hyper, and so she seriously suggested, like, me getting some kind of medication or something, and
Your
so my
parents are like,
mom and dad
fuck that.
reached out, and there's this freaking word for it, like neuro
Are you neurodivergent?
I don't know. I don't even know what neurodivergent means.
I don't either. I just know that that's a word. I just thought I'd
Um, but they basically brought a man. I think it was a man, maybe it was a woman. But they brought a man to my home
Did you
and
do the
they
gateway test, Joey?
what's the gateway test?
Did you do the gateway test to be tested for Epstein Island?
I don't even know if I know what that test is. I dude, I've told you I'm so out of the loop on the story, dude.
Oh, I know.
I have to
Trust me, I
actively
know,
go
my
look
man.
it up. You know, by the way, neurodivergent, differing in mental or neurological function from what is considered typical or normal. I think I might be neurodivergent.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
They anyway, the
You
long story
seem
short, this guy
neurodivergent right
came
now.
and he brought a bunch of these fucking wires that were attached to like little suction cup things and they stuck them to my goddamn head and I had to sit here and watch this program where a spaceship was flying through a tube and I had to focus on the spaceship and the spaceship if I was focusing hard enough would travel the tube and make the turns perfectly but if I started to not focus that ship would fly off and crash and they brought this guy out like a few times, like more than 3
Spaceship,
times.
Joey. Spaceship or UFO?
I think it was a spaceship.
No, it was a UFO. All right.
It was also like in 2007,
So
dog. So it wasn't like great graphics.
You were definitely getting tested for the UFO space project. We can conclude that right now.
We have confirmed. You heard it here first, folks.
Joey could have been one of those kids, but he was too stupid to get in the program, and he was too dumb. He was too dumm. They were like, "I'm sorry, we can have this guy flying any ship." And
colors.
You just said you were
sort of.
You were off the map. You were off the map, Joey. You went
No,
Zeep
that's what
Zorp,
would
and then the spaceship went romp. You're done. You were done before it started.
No. Anyway, I think that's why I might have ADHD, because people came to my house and just did lab tests
You're
on me.
stupid.
There's no fixing that. Which
That's
then,
crazy.
because nobody
That's
gave me a
crazy.
cure, probably led to me becoming as hyper as I was in middle school, which everyone hated.
And now you're a recluse.
Yeah, now I'm just an abomination.
Like a hermit crab.
I'm a hermit crab. I'm a really fat hermit crab.
No, I wouldn't say fat.
God. I would.
What shirt are you wearing right now?
Just a Marvel
Wow.
Comics one.
You look cute in that shirt.
One of the only clean shirts I had that was around and not a polo.
Yeah, Joey lives in polos now that he works.
Yeah, I haven't gone out to buy new just t-shirts in a long time.
I know.
Because I don't.
I know. Because you're too neurodivergent to go into a mall.
I might be neurodivergent, folks. Differing in mental or neurological function from what is considered normal. Yeah, so I'm just I'm not normal anymore.
You're weird. You're weirdo.
Frequently used to reference to the autistic spectrum disorders. Am I autistic? That was in the intro song.
I mean, I feel like I gotta be a little bit autistic. Just like a little bit.
Aren't we all?
I can't wear certain things without other colors matching it. I don't know if that's like
I don't do well with sharing specific drinks. I don't know if that counts.
No, that's
like,
right. Like what? Like a
soda,
root beer float? You wouldn't.
Like a soda, I could share. If it's milk or a slushy or a smoothie,
oh,
get out.
No, 100%.
Get out of there.
I went to San Jose and I shared some of my smoothie, and I low key just I didn't feel good.
Throw up.
Yeah, I was like, nah, like I can't do that shit. I'm sorry. Like I don't know what it is, man. Maybe we just are undiagnosed autistic or something. Like
we figured it out, folks. The first
know.
episode officially back on the Woodsman.
We found out that we have neurological disorders. Wow, that's crazy.
I think that might be a great place to wrap it up. I don't know if you agree. I think we solved the case, brother.
I think we're done. I think that's it.
What
that's
else
it for the Woodsman podcast, by the way, guys. Sorry, we're done.
Final episode.
We're done.
There's nothing else to learn. Every episode's been about learning about something new. We cracked it.
Yeah. We're just stupid.
We're just fucking dumb.
Yeah, we're just dumb, man. That's it. That's our life now. So wow.
It was a great journey. Well, I think that's a good place to maybe call it quits for the first time. See if everything recorded okay.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, we'll have something up soon. We promise. This was our stress test episode.
My hopes are high. My hopes are high, but my downs are up.
Okay. What?
I
I don't know.
don't know. We can cut that out. Let's
My
wrap this shit
downs are
up. All right.
Let's
well,
wrap this shit up. All right,
Well.
folks. Thank you again so much for watching. We will be back soon. We are going to start this process now that we have done our stress test episode. We kind of have a better feel for this. We know what to expect. We know what can go wrong and what can go right. So I think the Woodsmen are well on their way for the return.
Yeah. We got a whole season's worth of episodes that we want to get out. So
When we
Yeah.
hop off this call, I actually did have a thing I wanted to talk to you about the next episode. So we're already on our way, folks.
Okay, babies. Well, we've been your hosts, Brent Murphy.
And Joey Rucker.
Later, Gators.
He said the thing. The Woodsman Podcast is actively reading and responding to anything and everything on Instagram and our email.
If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the show, or would like to possibly be on the show, you can email us at thewoodsmanpod@gmail.com.
Make sure to keep up with all things Woodsman related on Instagram and X at WoodsmanPod.
Don't forget to rate, like, and subscribe to the Woodsman Podcast wherever you get your podcasts, with video exclusively on YouTube and Patreon.
Make sure to follow our personal accounts at Strange Kids and Piemaster J on all platforms. The Woodsman Podcast is co-produced by Brent Murphy and Joey Rucker. Written by Brent Murphy, video editing by Joey Rucker, and blood, sweat, and tears by all of us.
Any additional content by the Woodsman Podcast may not be used without our permission. Copyright Cabin 13 Productions. And remember,
I love the young people.
How many times do we have to tell you, old man?